Think you're making rational choices? Think again. Every day, from the moment you wake up to the second you go to bed, stress is silently shaping every decision you make, whether you notice it or not. You might think you're in full control of your actions, but the truth is, your brain has a sneaky way of hijacking your decisions, pushing you toward choices that feel automatic, impulsive, or even completely irrational. And the scariest part? Most of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. Imagine this. It's a typical weekday, and you're rushing to get to work. You skipped breakfast, your emails are piling up, and the traffic is worse than usual. You finally arrive at the supermarket after work, tired and overwhelmed. Two options sit in front of you. One is quick, convenient, and comforting. The other is healthier, but requires more effort, more time, more thought. Which one do you choose? If you're like most people, your hand goes straight to the quick and convenient option. You promised yourself you'd eat healthier, but somehow, under stress, the choice feels automatic, almost irresistible. That's your brain under hijack. It's not laziness, and it's not weakness. It's biology. When you experience stress, your body releases hormones, the most famous of which is cortisol. Cortisol is designed to help you survive immediate threats. It tells your heart to beat faster, your muscles to prepare for action, and your mind to focus on what's urgent. This sounds helpful in theory, especially if you're escaping danger or facing a real emergency. But in modern life, stress rarely comes in the form of lions or natural disasters. Instead, it comes from deadlines, traffic jams, arguments, bills, and endless notifications. And yet, your brain reacts as if you were fighting for your life. Cortisol floods your system, and your brain shifts control from the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, reasoning, and long-term thinking, to the amygdala, the part that reacts to emotion, threat, and survival instincts. Suddenly, decisions that should be deliberate become reactive, impulsive, and often counterproductive. This explains a lot about human behavior under pressure. Have you ever snapped at a colleague over something trivial, made an impulsive purchase, or chosen a short-term comfort over a long-term benefit? That wasn't a moral failure or poor character. That was stress hijacking your decision-making process. The amygdala takes over, making survival and immediate emotional satisfaction feel urgent, even when it's not. The rational, reflective part of your brain, the one that weighs consequences and thinks ahead, is temporarily sidelined. And while you're under stress, the decisions you make are guided more by emotion than logic. But it's not just about big decisions. Stress infiltrates the tiny choices too, the ones that seem meaningless but accumulate into significant outcomes. It affects how you respond to criticism, how you spend money, how you manage your time, and even how you interact with loved ones. Imagine trying to focus on a creative project when your mind is buzzing with anxiety, deadlines, and personal worries. Your brain isn't lying, it's just prioritizing what it thinks is most urgent. Survive the stress. Creativity and long-term planning fall to the background, and impulsive reactions take center stage. The good news is that recognizing this process is the first step toward regaining control. Awareness is your most powerful tool. When you understand that stress is hijacking your brain, you can start to intervene before it takes full control. There are practical strategies backed by science that help reduce the impact of stress on decision-making. The first step is identifying your stress triggers. Are there certain situations, people, or times of day that consistently elevate your stress levels? By mapping these patterns, you gain insight into when you are most vulnerable to impulsive decisions. Once you know your triggers, the next step is creating a pause, a deliberate moment to interrupt the hijack. Even a short pause can make a significant difference. Research shows that taking just 10 seconds to breathe deeply and center yourself activates the prefrontal cortex again, allowing rational thought to return. It's a simple but powerful technique. The next time you feel your stress rising, Take a moment before responding, before making a purchase, or before reacting to a conflict. That pause is the gateway to conscious decision-making rather than automatic reaction. Another crucial strategy is building small, consistent stress reduction habits. Daily practices like meditation, exercise, journaling, or even a short walk can decrease baseline cortisol levels and improve emotional regulation. Over time, these habits strengthen your ability to resist stress hijack, making your decision-making more resilient. It's like training your brain to regain control even under pressure. And the best part is that these habits don't require hours of effort. They're small, practical, and easy to integrate into everyday life. It's also important to understand the role of anticipation in stress. Stress often spikes when we imagine potential negative outcomes, not necessarily when facing actual danger. Your mind predicts threats, sometimes exaggerating them, and prepares you to react. This means that worrying about a future meeting, imagining a financial problem, or replaying past mistakes can all trigger the same hijack response in your brain. Mindfulness and grounding techniques help here. By focusing on the present moment and separating imagined threats from actual ones, you can reduce unnecessary cortisol release and maintain better control over your decisions. Stress doesn't just hijack decisions, it reshapes priorities. Under high stress, your brain tends to prioritize immediate relief over long-term benefits. That's why people binge-watch TV instead of exercising, reach for junk food instead of cooking a balanced meal, or avoid difficult conversations that could improve relationships. The brain is wired to seek quick comfort when threatened, even if that choice conflicts with your conscious goals. Understanding this dynamic allows you to design your environment and habits to support better decisions, reduce friction for positive actions, and increase friction for impulsive choices. For example, keeping healthy snacks visible and junk food out of reach or scheduling breaks during high-stress work periods makes rational decisions easier to follow. The final piece of the puzzle is reflection. After a stressful event or a decision you regret, take a moment to analyze what happened. Did stress influence your choice? Were you reacting automatically? This reflection strengthens your awareness and prepares you for future situations, gradually improving your ability to stay in control even under pressure. Think of it as building mental immunity to stress hijacking. Stress is unavoidable, but letting it dictate your decisions isn't. By understanding how your brain reacts to pressure, recognizing your triggers, creating pauses, and building small stress reduction habits, you can reclaim control. Your brain is incredibly adaptive, and with consistent practice, you can resist impulsive choices, make smarter decisions, and reduce the negative impact of stress on your life. Next time you feel the weight of stress pressing down, ask yourself, am I deciding, or is stress deciding for me? That moment of awareness could be the difference between acting on impulse and making choices that align with your true intentions. And if you found this insight helpful, just wait. Because in the next video, we'll explore the hidden tricks your emotions play on your memory and how they can fool you every single day. Don't miss it.